21 storms have been predicted for this year, and in the event that one or more of them threaten Belize, the local Disaster Emergency Preparedness and Response Authority, NEMO, and the National Meteorological Service today shared their plan. Head of the organization, retired Colonel Shelton IV, said that they have been conducting shelter inspections and training people on their roles and responsibilities, and where in the past, public officers who were entrusted with the keys to hurricane shelters went incommunicado at the most critical hour, that's not going to be the case now, the four assured.
The system to access the keys to get to the schools will be the district coordinator arranging with the principal or the management of the school to get the keys so that the school can be open to allow people to get to the shelter of their choice, and that will reduce the fuss of the point you made about some persons not being available.
The force says NEMO commanders have ensured to stay in communication in the event a hurricane renders the national communications company's transmitters non-functional. The NEMO warehouses across the country have also been stocked, and accessing the goods in times of need should not take excessively long. But that's the response after a hurricane hits. What concerns a lot of people is taking into account safety protocols at a time when COVID infections are once again on the rise.
Upon arriving at a shelter, persons will need to show their status in terms of vaccination because it impacts on shelter space. If you're not vaccinated, the classrooms which we normally put 30 persons in will only be able to house 10. So we lose considerable amount of shelter space. So if you're vaccinated, then we could increase the shelter space to about 20 persons per classroom, which means more people can shelter. For persons who have COVID or showing signs of COVID, the screening with the Ministry of Health rep will have them quarantine at a particular sector or section of that shelter.
The evacuation of large numbers of people from coastal communities and municipalities, including from densely populated areas such as Belize City before a hurricane strikes, could also be chaotic if certain elements are not taken into consideration. Liaison officer with the City Emergency Management Organization for the Belize City Council, Melanie Dawson, said there have been simulations in each constituency to evacuate Belize City residents to Belmopan.
I would say we do simulations as well to see how rightly these routes would fit. Because as you all know, if we get a warning or a storm is coming, sometimes the streets, the roads, and everything, get blocked up, right? So with our plan in place, I would say that the evacuation route would definitely play a huge role. Now, to start off, the routes are set by constituency. We have a pickup point in each constituency. For example, for the Cullet area, we will have a pickup point at Unity Presbyterian. From there, they will be transported to Belmopan.
Aside from evacuation, disseminating information in a timely fashion is also key during a hurricane's passage. But Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon discourages people from using social media to do so because it can overwhelm people into complacency.
We know that with social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, there are many persons out there claiming to be experts that are actually putting out information that oftentimes serves to create unnecessary panic. And one of the things is that when you overwarn people, they become complacent when something actually is coming because they've heard that story so many times. So it's important that we use and we focus on official sources of information.
The team advised every family to have a hurricane plan for how you will take care of yourself, your family members, and your pets, whose lives oftentimes are never taken into consideration when evacuation is necessary. Colonel DeFore says NEMO will have on its website a list of locations where people could probably take their animals in the event a hurricane looms over Belize. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.